Good evening all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metal market wrap-up for this Wednesday evening, Fed Day, and this is July 28th, 2021. We're getting out about 5:30 in the evening. All right. So in looking at the markets, the Fed came out today and we had the announcement and the press conference. You know, these are the highlights. When I put out my written notices during the day for my subscribers to take my full research, I'll give them the highlights of reports, give them a quick synopsis as to what I think of the report, and away they go. If you want to read this, just hit pause right now. You've got everything there. You'll see what they get, and that's why they want this from me. Put it in a way that I think makes sense to people. All right. So coming back to the markets, the synopsis would be the Fed did just as I thought they would. Doesn't give me any credit, but that's what I thought. I thought they'd do nothing. I think the Fed is sitting here. They're saying they're discussing tapering. It's at a very infancy stage. They're not doing anything there. They made it clear they're not going to raise interest rates in front of tapering, and they don't intend on doing both at the same time. You know, market conditions can warrant things, but that's not the intent. They were rightly so today asked about what substantial progress makes, because they use that term all the time in their announcement, and what does transitory mean? And they answered that. I'm not going to spend time here doing that. I do that in my written updates, so I have different levels of what's going on. But suffice to say, they're doing nothing in the near term. Gold got a bump off of that. Silver got a bump. The stock market rallied a little bit in some of the indices and gave something back. Currencies as a group rallied. Bonds and notes are continuing to rally, and that certainly doesn't stop the lower yields from coming forth, because the Fed, I think today, this is my interpretation, is not going to make an announcement at Jackson Hole that it is ready to begin the tapering process, as many thought might be the case. Not the case. COVID is still very serious, but it's not having the massive implications that it did on the first route, this Delta, and that's because so many Americans are vaccinated, but nowhere near enough. Then they went on to talk unemployment and the ratio of unfilled jobs to those filled and the workforce size. So a lot going on, but I discussed it in my newsletter. All right, so let's go on and get to the next chart if I could for us here. If this will let me do it. Okay, let me do it. There we go. Sorry for that, but hand things. You see the weather people have it all the time too. Okay, the weekly area chart of closes. Well, the market's fighting right at that line in the sand, that 18-week moving average of closes. Okay. But what has it done? It still has the pattern where it's trying to get back over it, which is bullish. When we go to the next chart, you can see how the action is here, and the market's got a pattern now of still lower highs, lower lows, nothing bullish about that yet, but the battlegrounds defined itself nicely as what I predicted, the 100-day average when it was getting down there, to the resistance of the 18. The key is to clear 18, 16, 10. If the market can do that, and I don't know if it will or won't, but if it can do that, then I'm going to look for resistance at the Bollinger Band, which comes in around 1828.60. So I'm looking for stiff resistance, 1828.60 to 1834.70, and that's if you can clear this 1860.10, and right here is exactly where the battleground is shaped up. In terms of momentum, it's trying to turn to the upside, but hasn't succeeded just yet. I need to get that red line over the blue and pointing like it's going to continue to go. The gold-silver ratio still says that the gold market is stronger than the silver. And I know you're going to say, well, didn't silver rally today? Yeah, but it's also coming off the lower Bollinger Band. And that's what I teach and you expect. Now, what about down here? We have both numbers above 20. So we're not embedded. We're just very oversold in a downtrend. That's not a reason other than hitting the Bollinger Band to take off positions. But just because you're oversold, no, I don't think you'll attract new selling down there. In the copper, let's go back if we could just a fraction. Yesterday I said we got 3 days up and the odds of going 5, very difficult. 6 is really difficult. Count on a chart when it's done it. So yesterday, which is today as I'm talking, Wednesday. The market closed back under it, and tonight you can see where you're at. That's all I was looking for. There are bullish events happening here. What do you think they are? You just had a bullish crossover where the 18-day average got over the green, the 100. Momentum is too overbought that I think you're not going to attract all kinds of new buying in the market, but it's also nothing here bearish. In the platinum market, oversold, has hit its downside target, past tense, and the market sort of stalled. Hasn't gone anywhere since that occurred. Palladium market, oversold. I don't think you're going to attract a lot, but there's a real problem, negative one that just turned up. Take a look at your 18 and your 100-day average. You haven't crisscrossed yet, but if they do, that's not a bullish sign. So you're at an area where if you were to rally, the market's going to have to try to bust that and not allow that to happen. Otherwise, that's going to be a lot of resistance on future rallies. In the dollar index, well, we didn't get the Fed saying they're raising interest rates or tapering anytime soon, nor did they allude to it. They're in the early stages. How can I say that? Your wife, your girlfriend, your whatever, your special person in your life, well, they announced they're pregnant and they're 3 weeks pregnant. I don't know what that means. Does that mean we're talking that the Fed is 9 months away from actually tapering? Is it December? A different type of animal? Maybe your wife's some creature. I don't know. I'm being funny there. I'm just cracking up. But that's the idea. We don't know where they're at. So I can see that. So I don't think it's very bullish, the dollar. And the dollar action on the chart is absolutely bearish. Throw off the name of this. Throw off the Fed. Lower highs, lower lows, a lot of resistance, 92.59, 93.04, anything over there negates the downtrend. Objective, first one at least, 92.11.5, about 20 points from here. Ethereum, you're in an uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, but this was the game. You hit a lower Bollinger Band, I can't be any clearer. You're not embedded, that's where I thought the pros took off everything. That's what I teach in that enhanced Bollinger Band course. And by the way, I would have taught, let me come here. You hit the upper band, same thing on the upside. That whole rally, that's where I think it petered out, and I still think it petered out, current tense. So you put it together, you try to come up with a game plan, and that's what I try to give you in the morning. Let me tell you what my thought was when I began my morning futures videos. I remember buying newsletters from some very well-known writers. Can't use their names, just not allowed to. Don't have their permission and other things. I couldn't wait to get it because they were so good at their chart analysis. I wanted to know if what I was looking at, I wanted to tell my clients, do this, do that. I was a retail broker. Well, I want to be that type of guy to you. You have an idea. I'm praying that in the morning you go, I have this. I wonder what Ira's thinking of that. Is it a go or not a go? That's the guy I want to be. I want to be the mentor on the other side. I don't want to be the guy that tells you, buy here, sell there, you do this. I want you to get up to the point where you have your own ideas, but then you're seeing what my expertise brings to the table. Maybe you missed something. Maybe you're looking for, why didn't I catch that? There's something that I should have looked at. Why didn't I go with that? $7.95, 24 videos a month. 4 of those videos are going to be just weekly charts. The others are daily, each about 20 minutes long. We give you all the software you need to see what I'm doing. You get notices sent out to you as soon as the tape's published, and they're published in a timely manner. The futures, in fact, will come out typically before 6:30 in the morning. Most of you are asleep, and most of the markets aren't rocking yet. They'll get going as the reports come in after that, typically, and I'm talking the U.S. economic data. Got questions? You can call my staff. Go to the website under the word research. It's all explained there. If you can't afford that, I don't know what you can afford and why you're in this game. I'm Ira Epstein. Take care.